Mom, how about making sandwiches for us every day until you can get together $30,000? If you don't, I won't let you see Amelia anymore. Such an unreasonable demand from my eldest son turned my life upside down. Before dawn, I was making sandwiches for his family and delivering them, then heading to the care facility, worn out from fatigue and lack of sleep. I just couldn't bring myself to cut ties with him, all because of my love for my adorable granddaughter, Amelia. But one day, a tearful Amelia revealed a shocking truth her parents had kept hidden. I can't forgive them anymore. I've reached my breaking point and decided to fight back. My name is Emma. I am 72 years old. I lost my husband last year and now live alone in our family home. My husband, who was the same age as me, developed dementia in his later years. I took care of him at home for a while, but the last year was spent under the care of a facility. Because of that, I still have a connection to that facility even after he's gone. I was mentally and physically exhausted from caregiving, and the staff at the facility were truly kind to me. Thanks to them, I believe my husband spent his last year in peace. The facility was always short-staffed and extremely busy. After my husband passed away, I talked to the staff and decided to help out in any small way I could. I've always been good at cooking and baking, so I would make sandwiches and desserts for the staff whenever I went to the facility. Then one day, out of the blue, my eldest son and his family came to visit. It took me by surprise, but I served them tea. Mom, it's been a while, sorry for barging in like this. We've had some issues and decided to move to this area, James, my eldest son, said while reaching for the treats on the table. He looked worn out for some reason. Natalie, my daughter-in-law, barely spoke since they arrived and kept fiddling with her cell phone. They decided to move all of a sudden. Did something happen? A faint unease lingered in my heart, but I greeted my granddaughter, Amelia, with a smile. Amelia, you've grown up so much. How have you been? It must have been about 5 years since I last saw my eldest son's family. Ever since my husband was diagnosed with dementia, my days were consumed with caregiving, leaving no time or energy for anything else. I couldn't even keep up with my adorable Amelia. Granny, it's been a while. I've been good. I'm in the 9th grade now. Amelia replied, Oh my, how time flies. You'll be taking exams this year. Then you better do your best. Upon hearing this, Amelia's expression turned somber. I wondered, is moving during such a critical period in her education a good idea? Just then, a cat's meow echoed from the kitchen. Amelia whispered with joy, A cat, and hurried towards the sound. Mom, since when did you get a cat? James asked, staring intently towards the kitchen. Natalie didn't lift her face from her smartphone. In Amelia's absence, I probed my son and his wife about the reasons behind their move. Their response was vague, but in essence, they moved hastily due to financial troubles stemming from a failed business venture. I then inquired about James's job. Well, things have been rough. My health's been on the decline, and the doctor advised some rest. More importantly, Mom, I have a favor to ask. James was hoping for a loan. The failed business and move drained their finances, and they were nearly out of money. He needed about $5,000 for daily expenses. Honestly, I hesitated. Even though he's my eldest, lending such a large sum on the spot felt daunting. Are the two of them even thinking about their future? But no matter how much I broke, all I got was, just lend us the money. Despite my reservations, I took out $5,000 from my savings and handed it to James with a smirk. James quickly pocketed the money. Well, do your best for Amelia's sake. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. Yeah, thanks. We're heading out now, but we'll be around often. Please keep some food ready for us. With that, James called Amelia, who was petting the cat in the kitchen, and the three of them left. As I cleared the dishes, a sense of unease about what the future held settled in. Hey, Mom, it's me. I'll be coming over tonight. Have dinner and a bath ready, okay? Oh, and I've run out of the money you gave me, so I'll need a bit more later. Without waiting for my response, James hangs up the phone. I sigh heavily and set my mobile phone on the table. It's been 2 weeks since my eldest son's family imposed themselves on me. Since then, James has been coming over almost daily for meals and money. On weekends, his adorable daughter, Amelia, joins. At first, I prepared special meals and lent him a few $1,000s each time, but I've reached my limit. James claimed he couldn't work due to medical reasons, but he looked perfectly healthy to me. I couldn't understand why he was blowing through the large sums I lent him every week. That evening, fed up, I sternly confronted James and his wife when they arrived. I told them I didn't want them visiting so frequently and to stop asking for food and money. What? You said you'd help, didn't you? Was that a lie? Predictably, James became aggressive in his words and demeanor. His wife, Natalie, silently played with her phone while eating the meal I prepared. There are limits, you know. Making me prepare meals every day, asking for money every week, enough is enough. I'll go bankrupt at this rate. Fine, I'll give up on the money for now, but instead, bring me sandwiches every day. Enough for 3 meals. What? I can't do that. I've told you, I volunteer at a facility every weekday morning, then drop them off before you go. Wake up at 3 a.m. if you have to. Before I could respond, James added, if you don't do anything for us, you won't see Amelia anymore. We'll cut ties with you. Knowing how much I adore my only granddaughter, Amelia, James smirked. Honestly, I'd love to cut ties with this couple, but I worry about sweet Amelia. Let me think. I can't come up with money that easily. Then at least gather around $30,000 for now, and remember the sandwiches daily. Let's go, Natalie. From that day on, my life dramatically changed. I would wake up before dawn to prepare sandwiches for James' family, deliver them, and then head to the facility, exhausted and sleep-deprived. My love for Amelia stopped me from cutting ties with my son. This exhausting routine continued for about a month. Then unexpectedly, Amelia visited alone one weekend. I greeted her with a smile, but she looked somber. To be honest, Dad told me not to visit you anymore, Amelia confessed as she gently stroked our family cat in the kitchen. They make you prepare sandwiches every day while they just laze around at home. I'm so sorry. You don't need to apologize, Amelia. Well, I am a bit worried about those two, but how's the new school? Are you keeping up with your studies? I tried to shift the topic with a cheerful tone, but Amelia remained silent, tears streaming down her face. Caught off guard, I comforted her by rubbing her back. Eventually, she broke down, crying even louder. Not understanding the reason, I patiently waited for Amelia to calm down. When she finally stopped crying, she revealed a shocking truth. Amelia hadn't been attending middle school since they moved here. Not just that, she claimed James forced her to lie about her age and work several part-time jobs. All the money she earned went straight into James's pocket. Furthermore, James took away her cell phone when they moved. One night, he suddenly said, "We're moving," and she was forced onto a truck without even saying goodbye to her friends or teachers. James had firstly made her promise not to tell me, her grandmother, about all this. I was dumbfounded by the shocking revelations pouring from Amelia's tear-filled eyes. It seemed as if they had moved secretly in the dead of night. What could have possibly happened to my eldest son and his wife? That's how it was, Amelia. You've been struggling all this time. I'm sorry I didn't notice earlier, but thank you for telling me. No, I should apologize. I didn't want to upset you. You know, I'd overheard Dad and Mom talking about you yesterday. They were planning to secretly take some sort of property deed from your place and then pretend you have dementia to place you in a facility. I just couldn't hold it in anymore. Unable to hold back, Amelia began to cry again. I hugged her tightly. No matter what, I couldn't forgive my eldest son anymore. Until now, I endured everything for dear Amelia's sake, but I have reached my breaking point. James is clearly an adult and a parent himself. He must face the consequences of his actions. I made up my mind silently. Amelia, you don't need to worry. Leave everything to me. Oh, by the way, where are you planning to take your school entrance exams? I smiled at Amelia, trying to encourage her. Her eyes, red from crying, looked a little comforted. Well, I want to go to a place called Winchester Culinary School. With everything going on and the lack of money, I might not even be able to apply. Oh, the Winchester Culinary School. I know it. It's a vocational school for cooking and baking, right? The person who founded it was in the same class as your grandfather and me. It's a good school, really. That's amazing. I love the dishes you make. I want to make people smile with my cooking just like you. After that, Amelia shared her dreams with me. She told me that despite her tough circumstances, she never gave up and continued studying diligently. I encouraged Amelia and made her promise to continue her studies. After seeing Amelia off, I quickly took action. First, I decided to investigate my eldest son and his wife, so I hired a private investigator. A week later, after receiving the investigation results and pondering them, I made several contacts. Once everything was in order, I called James. I have something substantial to discuss with you. You must bring Natalie and Amelia with you. Thinking he'd finally get his hands on the big bucks, James eagerly agreed to the conditions, deciding to meet at a coffee shop over the weekend. Seated by the coffee shop's window, engrossed in my phone, I awaited their arrival. When James and his family approached, I set my phone down on the table and exchanged greetings. "Hey, give me the money already. Do you want to be cut off from us immediately?" James reached for the thick brown envelope by my side, filled to the brim. Pulling the envelope closer, I held onto it firmly. "If you really want, we can sever ties. But before that, I have some things to confirm with you. Only after that will I hand this over." I began by pointing out that ever since their move, they hadn't enrolled Amelia in middle school and had been making her work illegally on the side. The couple tried to brush it off, clearly eager for the money, but eventually admitted the truth. "We had no money, so we had no choice. Once we get the money, she'll quit her job and go back to middle school." Suspicious with doubt, I continued to question why James wasn't working. "Are you truly on medical leave? Which hospital did you go to? Show me some proof, like a receipt or a health insurance card." "I don't have any." "You're not faking it, are you? Lying just because you don't want to work?" As the atmosphere grew tense, James raised his voice. "Don't say things like that. I didn't go to any hospital, but something really traumatic happened, and it's been hard." "James, can you honestly tell me what happened? If you do, I'll give you this." I motioned to the envelope in my hand. James begrudgingly began to speak. "I get it now. When you said your business failed last time, you were actually betrayed by a business partner, a guy named Alexander. He took off with all the money I worked so hard to earn, but he had control over the core know-how and equipment, so I was powerless without him." "Oh, that's what happened. I'm the victim here. That's why I couldn't pay the rent and other bills and had to move. Now just give me that money already." With that, James snatches the envelope from my grasp. However, when he quickly opens it, instead of a wad of cash, it's filled with a bunch of bills. James stares blankly at the bills scattered across the table. "Why don't you just tell the truth for once?" Feeling let down by my eldest son's persistence in lying, I reveal the facts I've gathered. As the business started to profit, he got deep into the sex industry, accumulating massive debt to cover it. He deceived his business partner, took all the earnings, and even got involved with payday lenders. Then he moved away secretly in the middle of the night. Do you have any idea how hard it was for Amelia? She was thrown into chaos without understanding the reason. She couldn't even say goodbye to her friends and teachers, and you took away her phone. Do you understand how scared and hurt she felt? Whether James was listening or not, he desperately searches the bills, hoping to find money. Watching his pitiable state, I was utterly exasperated. James, hiding from payday lenders and business owners, had neither been working nor notifying the proper authorities of his whereabouts or processing school transfers for Amelia. His wife, Natalie, wasn't working either, so they had no income. It's clear they were counting on me from the beginning. No, I was planning to work once things settled down. What exactly did you do? All you've done is demand money and meals from me and force Amelia to work, right? Natalie is always on her phone, not working at all. Also, I know you've been sneaking into my house while I'm gone. That's breaking and entering, a serious crime, you know. I always leave the back door open for the neighborhood cats. Knowing this, James had been repeatedly breaking into my house whenever I was away. The day Amelia told me about James and Natalie was a turning point. I remembered I had a pet camera I'd won in a raffle. I fetched it from the storage and set it up. Sure enough, the footage showed James sneaking in from the back door while I was away, rummaging through my cupboards. I saved the footage on my mobile phone. Though after getting hold of the deeds to my house and land, you planned to make it seem like I'd lost my mind, put me in a facility, and then snatch everything away. You moved here with that intent from the beginning, didn't you? Shut up. You keep making me out to be a criminal just because you're my mother. You think you can make baseless accusations? James protested. I have a witness right here. Suddenly, an intimidating male voice sounded from behind James. Upon seeing the man, James was shocked and jumped. What? Alexander, why are you? Emma contacted me. I heard there was a discussion today, so I came from far away to participate. Good to see you, James. Looking well, I see, Alexander said, taking the seat next to James, effectively blocking his exit. It was my first time meeting him, but Alexander was quite an imposing middle-aged man. I was surprised James dared to cross someone like him. James, return the money now. There are officers waiting outside. I filed a police report. Pay up or turn yourself in. Decide now, Alexander demanded. Hearing this from Alexander, James hurriedly looked towards the window. Just as Alexander said, a police car was parked right outside the diner with an officer standing there, looking our way while on his phone. James looked shocked by the scene, his eyes wide as he instinctively moved back in his seat. Wait, Alexander, I was wrong. I'm truly sorry. I'll pay you back, I promise. I wasn't running away. I just needed a little more time. Just a bit longer, please, maybe another 2 weeks. Though you plan to sneak out in the middle of the night and move again, you think I trust the words of someone who's lied to me once? I'll ask one more time. Will you return the $30,000 you stole from me now, or will you go to the officer outside? Which is it? Alexander's tone no argument. Finally, he'd be arrested. A tangible, profound fear overtook James, sweat forming on his brow, trembling. James just stared at the table silently for a moment. Eventually, his bloodshot eyes slowly turned to face me. Hey, Mom, are you okay with this? If I get arrested, Amelia will be the daughter of a criminal. Your meddling has ruined your sweet granddaughter's life. If you don't want that, give me the money, Alexander. I'm sorry to interrupt, but could I borrow your cell phone? Mine isn't working right now. I need to dial this number. Cutting off James's desperate plea, I abruptly addressed Alexander, ignoring the dumbfounded James. I took the phone that Alexander handed over willingly and dialed a number, switching the call to speaker mode. Placing the phone on the table, I addressed Amelia. I'm calling the dean of the Winchester Culinary School. I've already briefed him about your situation. Please have a chat with him. Amelia was visibly flustered. What? Shortly, the call connected, and a flustered Amelia picked up the phone. A deep, calm male voice came through from the other end. Hello, this is William. Oh, hi, my name's Amelia. I love my grandmother's cooking, and I want to be able to make dishes that bring joy to people too. I want to join the Winchester Culinary School. It was a call with the dean of the prestigious Winchester Culinary School. Amelia, filled with nervous excitement, tried her best to convey her feelings. Dean William listened intently, occasionally nodding and giving encouraging murmurs. I see. Thank you for sharing, Amelia. It seems you've been through a lot. Your grandmother, Emma, is an old friend of mine. I'm aware of the situation. Amelia, once so excited, suddenly went silent. That's right, she had no hope for exams or the future. Like a deflating balloon, her shoulders slumped in disappointment. But you know, that doesn't matter. You have dreams, and you're working hard towards them. You've honored our Winchester Culinary School by choosing it as your first step. We give everyone an equal chance and support all students, no matter their background. Come, take the test with integrity. We'll be waiting. The call ended. I thanked him and handed the mobile phone back to Alexander. Yes, Amelia will be fine now. I can turn myself in without any worries. James's face went blank and he froze. For those who might not know, the Winchester Culinary School is where Amelia wants to study. It's a professional cooking school. Despite the challenges from her clueless parent, nothing will hold her back. Amelia looked at her father. Her cheeks were still flushed from the tension of the call, but her eyes sparkled. James looked deflated, avoiding eye contact, clearly embarrassed. Prompted by Alexander, James exited the diner. The officer put away his phone and started talking to James. It's disheartening to see your child in police custody, but I want James to take full responsibility for his actions. I picked up the mobile phone left on the table. I had previously consulted with the officer and had him on the line during our conversation, with everything recorded. Even James can't escape this time. And one more thing. I turned to Natalie. Throughout the confrontation with James, she seemed disinterested, constantly fiddling with her phone. Natalie, James is with the officer. What will you do? She only briefly met my gaze. Ha, I don't care about that man. I'm divorcing him soon anyway. Amelia looked shocked and turned to her mother. Wait, what about Amelia? Your marital issues are yours. But you need to consider Amelia. I've made up my mind about what I want. I'm tired of his wasteful spending. I just want to live on my terms now. Tears quickly filled Amelia's eyes. With a father like James and now her mother, how much more hurt would they inflict on their daughter? I felt more disheartened than angry, sighed deeply. Later, a resigned James confessed all his crimes at the police station and is still being interrogated. He owed $50,000 from the sex industry, took $30,000 from his former business partner Alexander, and borrowed $20,000 from payday lenders. The total amount he siphoned from me was around $20,000. Of course, both Alexander and I intend to claim every penny. As his mother, it's heartbreaking. I hope this serves as a lesson for him to deeply reflect and atone for his sins. Natalie, being James' ex-wife, was also interrogated during this. It was discovered she had been scammed. This was a romance scam where you get sweet-talked by someone you meet on social media, and after establishing a romantic relationship, they skillfully swindle large amounts of money. The person Natalie had been communicating with on her mobile phone claimed to be a super famous, handsome actor. One day, she received a personal direct message just for her and was passionately pursued. Natalie fell head over heels. She kept sending money, doing whatever he asked. Of course, this was an imposter pretending to be the actor. This case mirrored numerous others reported to the police. Realizing she'd been deceived, Natalie was utterly devastated. Since she had already divorced James, she had no one to turn to and had lost her means of livelihood. After that, I decided to live with Amelia. I sold my house and land and moved to an apartment near Winchester Culinary School. The house and land, located in a prime urban area, had a huge asset value, fetching me several $1,000,000. I made sure that Amelia would be the beneficiary of these assets so she'd never face financial hardships. We moved in the middle of the night, as if sneaking away. My parents were deeply distressed with everything escalating to the police, but Amelia never gave up and continued to work hard. I too did everything I could, managing her transfer to middle school and helping with her exams. Thanks to our efforts, Amelia managed to take the entrance exam for Winchester Culinary School and got in. Just as Principal Williams said, Amelia dedicates herself to her studies at Winchester Culinary School, heading straight towards her dream, enjoying her youthful days surrounded by friends. Watching my beloved Amelia grow up by my side, I live with peace in my heart, basking in happiness.